Hi, welcome to today's lesson covering applying tab leaders in Microsoft Word. This lesson is called W5.14 Social, and in it we will format a custom tab stop that contains dot leaders in a document about social media use. Specifically, we will focus on putting dot leaders with our custom tabs. Aligning text within your document is easy with setting custom tabs. Using dot leaders in front of custom tabs helps with the readability of the document. Often seen in a book's table of contents or a phone list, dot leaders draw the reader's eye across the page so that they can easily determine which chapter corresponds to which page, or which phone number goes with which name. Other common documents that utilize dot leaders include restaurant menus, store hour signs, party invitations. So, before we begin this exercise, let's first complete our basic Word document preparation. You will need to open a new Word document, so let's begin there. I'm going to pull this one up, and I'm going to assume that you are ready to go with this. If not, you can always pause this audio and get caught up. Make your header, put in your date, put in the file name, which I have already done. And then I'm going to come down here into the main document. So, like I said, if you're still pulling up a new Word document and entering in your header information, please pause this video. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and go on. So, getting past creating the header, we want to make sure that our ruler is on in Word. So once again, if it's not, if you don't see a ruler above and on the side, you'll need to go into the View tab and make sure this little box is clicked here by ruler. Other than that, we can be back in our Home tab, and we're going to set our tabs before we enter our data. So the first thing we're going to do is set a left align tab at 1.5. So once again, you can set your tabs by using these. I have a little glitch that I have to spin through all my tabs before it will do the correct one. You can set one at 1.5, or you can go back to this icon for line and paragraph spacing. Go to the bottom again, the tabs button, and use the tabs dialog box. Once again, I can hit 1.5, like it says here. It wants it to be left aligned, which is our default, and then I'm going to hit the plus sign. So this is what we're getting. This is what we've got. Now we're going to set the next right align tab at 6 inches with dot leaders. All right, so we know that we need to be at 6 inches. So I'm going to put the 6 in. It says it needs to be right aligned, so I'm going to click on the right align button. And then with dot leaders, remember we had talked a little bit about this. We have dot leaders, we have a dash, and we have a line. So let's go ahead and click the dot leaders, and then right position, what kind it is, the leader, and then we're going to say the plus sign. Once again, you can look at this number and see what it is. Look at this tab stop and see what it is. Once you're set, you say OK. Notice where I am with my cursor. There's a tab stop at 1.5 inches, supposedly. Okay. And then the next one, watch when I press tab here, there are dot leaders that go across the page. So how does that work? I'm going to come down here and I'm going to type the following text exactly as shown. All right, notice the title does not start over here, it starts here. So I'm going to type in percent of you, capital U period, capital S period, US teens who use the following social media platforms at least once a month. Okay, And then I'm going to put a colon there. And then I'm going to hit enter. Well, let's go down at least a couple lines. So I hit enter twice. Now notice my tabs are still there. They carried down. Now remember we hit the tab key again, and it is located above your caps lock. So we'll just put that in, and then you're going to type in YouTube, which is the most used. Do not use the space bar. You will press tab again. Aha, there's our dot leaders, and we're going to type in 85%. So they asked a bunch of teens, what's your most used social media platform once a month? They said about 85% of them said YouTube. Well, they asked another group, and they said, how many of you use, and I hit enter. Notice it said return here. Then I'm going to press tab. How many of you use Instagram? I press tab again. It's about 85% of us use Instagram too. So then I'm going to hit enter, press tab, and the next most popular one was Snapchat, 82%. All right. And enter, and so on. So you fill in the rest of these. Let's take that one out. And looks like this one. Now that's at 5, and I could have sworn that that was supposed to be at 6. So let's do that. But you see how easy that is. You can move if it doesn't agree with what you're doing. All I have to do is come up here, and if I just add my cursor on one line, it will only affect one line. You see that? So if you want to affect all of it, what's selected is what's affected, and then you can move as you need to. The tab stops on this are supposed to be at 1.5 left aligned, and then 6 inches right aligned with that dot leader. All right, so that's what your information needs to look like. And then we come down here and we finish the rest of the formatting, change the entire document, and you may need to pause this recording again while you finish putting in the data, but that's okay. Once you're done with that, then you can say Command A for all the data, and we're going to change this. I think mine is already on Comic Sans. Okay, you can just type it in, hit enter, and you may have been working in something else, a little bigger, a little smaller, but it needs to be Comic Sans 11. And then on number 8, it says select only the title. So you see I came out to the left, only the title. And we need to pick that up to 14 point, and bold, and center, just like it says here. And notice it does say, once bigger, the title will take up 2 lines. That's fine. All right, so now, last thing is we're going to hit Command A again to select everything. And we're going to change it to double space. Once again, this icon for line and paragraph spacing. When we go down to 2.0, everything is double spaced. I'm actually going to take out a couple of these lines. Make sure that I'm on only one page. All right. And tell me what you think. When you turn this in, go down to the class comments in this assignment after you have already turned it in, and tell me what your top 3 are. What social media do you use? Do you use YouTube the most, Instagram the most, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter? You know where I probably live most of my life, but I also have a presence on Instagram, and so do my cats. There's your trivia for the day. All right, so don't forget, please go in and put in your top 3 most used social media in the class comments under this assignment. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you run a spell check, and you are ready to turn it in to Google Classroom.